regardless of what happens on October 24th between Robert Whittaker and Jared Cannonier, regardless of what happens in December between Darren Till and Jack Hermanson, the UFC has to make this fight right now. Right now.
What did I tell you?
Last week
you laughed at me when I told you.
Right
Last
now.
week you're like, no. I'm like, it's the time.
Right now.
Right now's the time.
December.
Right now's the time.
Do it December 12th. Listen, Izzy versus Jones might be one of the biggest fights the UFC could put on right now. They hate each other. There's heat. And by the way, this is the best part. There's no belt attached. Have Izzy go up to 205. It doesn't hold up any division. Jones isn't the 205 champ anymore. He's waiting until, the whole heavyweight title thing gets resolved. Make that fight. Forget about 2021. That fight it will never be hotter than right now.
That's the fight. I told you last week, it's the fight, and boy, it got ugly last week. It got ugly because there were personal insults, there were attacks on family, there were so many different levels of disrespectful tweets.
These two guys, all I'm saying is, if you're going to subject us to this, to the amount of tweets,
where's the payoff?
What's the
Where's
payoff?
the payoff?
You can't listen. You can't subject us to this and then say, "Oh, but I want to go do this," or "I want to go do that."
Who doesn't want the fight is the question.
You know what?
Where's the holdup? Because it sounds like Jones wants to fight.
My understanding is they've never seriously talked about the fight, and
it sounds like Dana's about ready to start talking about the fight, though.
He should, because it's a big time fight. It's the perfect time, right?
Okay, so for those of you who are curious, I am picking Khabib. I'm picking Khabib. Why am I picking Khabib? Well, ultimately, we've noticed that Geathje has made some serious adjustments to his game. Some very serious adjustments. And the number one adjustment, in my opinion, that he's made is he's throwing that low kick. He's throwing an amazing low kick, and it's super effective. It's super effective, super powerful. It seems like nobody's seeing it coming. It's hitting the leg. It's slapping back beautifully. He's pulling it back beautifully. His opponents are not countering him. And also, he seems to have added a lot of counter punching to his game. He has brought his level, with Trevor Whitman, he's brought his boxing, I think, to a new level. He's doing less brawling and more counter punching, and it's paid dividends. He was always a good puncher, but now he's become an excellent puncher. We saw that in his last fight after he stopped Tony Ferguson. In my opinion, this fight is going to be won by Khabib because not because Justin Geathje has he hasn't improved. Of course, the man's improved, but there's one thing I suspect. I suspect that when Khabib gets on top of him, I think Khabib's going to use those leg kicks. Don't forget, Gaethje's kicking a lot now. When you kick low to the leg, you're very susceptible to takedowns. So you have a really good leg kicker who throws leg kicks often throwing leg kicks. He's going to give Khabib lots of opportunities to score a double leg, single leg, double leg, single to double. And Khabib's not going to miss, very unlikely. I think Khabib gets him to the ground. Now, on the ground, in my opinion, there's going to be a massive differential. Okay, so I think striking is very close. I think wrestling is very close. Gaethje's been wrestling his entire life, okay, similar to Khabib. Wrestling is very close. Striking is very close. Toughness is very even. Cardiovascular, physical shape, both of them are very even. But I have a feeling that Khabib has done more groundwork and is levels above Gaethje on the ground. Why? Why do I say this? We haven't seen Geathje on the ground very much. We have not seen him on the bottom or the top. And that tells me that, you know, he'd rather strike. Why would you rather strike? Why would you rather get in all these wars? Some of you are going to say, oh, well, you know, coach, that's his attitude. That's why he likes it. He wants to be an exciting fighter. He'd rather lose than be boring. Maybe he has that kind of attitude. It also might be that he's not comfortable on the ground. It also might be that on the ground, he just doesn't feel right. He can do a takedown. He can defend a takedown. But on the ground, it's complicated. It's tiresome. Some people don't like it, okay? I have a feeling he's one of those guys, if you put him on his back, all he does is try to get up. He doesn't try to armbar, sweep, submit, leg lock, forget all that. He doesn't do any of that. He tries to base out. He tries to get to his knees. He tries to put his palms on the floor and start standing up against the cage or up in the mat, up off the mat. Khabib is going to break him down with the gut wrench. He's going to gain position. He's going to put Geathje. He's going to force Geathje to his back, even though Geathje will do everything not to go to his back. Geathje rather go to his knees, in my opinion. I'm assuming this from seeing his fight and how he reacts typically when there's some grappling exchanges. I think he's going to show his back. He's going to get gut wrenched. He's going to get back taken. He's going to get put on his back, forced on his back. He's not going to be comfortable on his back. He's going to be getting hit with ground and pound. He's not going to be able to defend himself. And then we're going to see a massive differential. We saw that Khabib can be very explosive. Those leg kicks, in my opinion, I think are going to get him taken down. If he doesn't throw leg kicks, well, that's one less thing for Khabib to worry about. And you see that Geathje is kind of a pressure fighter, kind of an in-fighter. I think it's going to set up a takedown for Khabib. Look, at the end of the day, I'm thinking that Khabib gets the takedown, and because he gets the takedown, there's going to be a massive differential. So he's going to expose things about Geathje we didn't know about, because he's bringing such a new game that Geathje hasn't seen. Who's the top wrestler that Gaethje's ever fought? Let's hear some names. Give me some names. Who is the top? And I know that Gaethje's a seasoned wrestler. I'm not saying he's not a seasoned wrestler. He's a very seasoned wrestler. But Khabib has taken down seasoned wrestlers convincingly. I think that he gets the takedown and the ground differential is too high. All right, that's my breakdown in a nutshell.